Manchester United zone at the expense of Tottenham Hotspur. The Londoners may have won the FA Cup for the past 2 years, but before this afternoon's game they hadn't won away for 6 months. The commentator on the highlights of this game at Meadow Lane, which features Notts County and Tottenham Hotspur, a cracking game it proves to be. Your commentator on the highlights is Peter Brackley.
Well, enigmatic really is the appropriate word for Notts County's progress this season. They've scored plenty of 3s and 4s, and last week put 5 past Coventry, but they've also conceded some 4s and 5s, and even 6 at home to Ipswich. Aki Lartenen's out for 6 weeks with a fractured cheekbone, but that's compensated by the return of England under-21 defender Brian Kilcline after serving a 2-match suspension. What a difference 3 months and the width of the River Trent has made in the life of this man, Justin Fashanu. 12 weeks ago, a virtual outcast at Nottingham Forest. Now at Meadow Lane, he's more his old self again. 8 goals in 14 matches, and he's formed a profitable partnership with Ian McCulloch. Tottenham's away form in the league has been quite alarming. Only 7 goals away from home in the league this season. They've not won on the road since they beat Sunderland way back in September. In fairness, they've had more than their share of injuries. Hoddle, Ardiles, Archibald, Brook and Hazard all currently missing. So there's a place up front today for Mark Falco. At least the injuries have enabled one young talent to blossom. Terry Gibson has taken his chance in exciting style. 6 goals in the 8 games that he's played since coming into the side at the turn of the year. And the referee today is Dennis Brazier, who comes from Northampton. So then away we go, Tottenham kicking off and attacking the goal to our left in this first half. And this for a fixture that's certainly produced some goals in the past. Indeed, there were 6 at White Hart Lane when the two teams met back in October. Tottenham winning by 4 goals to 2. Certainly a gusting wind blowing this afternoon, which won't make life easy for either side. This is Ricky Villa. Now Chiedozie. Falco, caught though by Goodwin, and then Lacey able to clear. McCulloch. Now Chiedozie, who's shaken off a cold to enable him to play today. Heavy cold in the week, had a fitness test this morning. Now the linesman flagging that Justin Fashanu was offside. The linesman just indicating where the offence was committed. And the free kick taken then by Big John Lacey. Now Paul Price for Tottenham. Looking for Crooks and Gibson. This is Crooks. Now Gibson. It's Fashanu. The poor layoff. Picked up comfortably by Perriman. Gibson going through with a lot of acceleration. Lacey beating Fashanu in the air. And Villa then giving it straight to Hooks. Taking on and beating Perriman. Fashanu has Chiedozie outside him. Players arriving now in the penalty area for County. Chiedozie can get the cross in. Goodwin turning it over. In goes Fashanu. Hoofed away by Mabbutt. Still there could be danger. And indeed a County free kick as Goodwin is brought down. A promising raid then by Notts County. Fashanu involved. Certainly been an instant hit here at Meadow Lane since his move from Nottingham Forest. In fact, it's a throw, not a free kick as I first thought there. Taken by Chiedozie, a long one too. And now the corner. And the man to look out for here is big Brian Kilcline, who's always dangerous on set pieces. Just outside the 6-yard box. Corner floated over by Hooks. Shot surely, and it's in from David Hunt. Tottenham failing to clear the ball, and with 8 minutes gone, Notts County have taken the lead. And one of those 3 central defenders, David Hunt, was the man on the spot at the right time. corner floated over. Everybody seemed to miss it. There was Hunt with an easy chance. A big smile there from Brian Kilcline, and they look for set pieces. But it was David Hunt who has given Notts County the lead. So plenty of vocal encouragement now for County around Meadow Lane. They've certainly picked up in the last 2 or 3 matches, Notts County. After losing the previous 3, they've won the last 2, and they've got off to a good start today. Hook's knocking it through, and he got a knock for his pains. And what delight Chidozie has taken from that goal. He has his critics in the county fans who feel that sometimes he doesn't provide the right finish, but he certainly did that time. A good run here by Worthington. Clements couldn't hold it, and it was Chidozie who was in there first. So 26 minutes gone, and Chidozie has made it 2-0 to Notts County. And doesn't he look relieved? It's only his 4th goal of the season, Chidozie. And that'll do his confidence the power of good. So Tottenham now with a great deal to do to get back into this match. They really haven't themselves played with much confidence so far, and have barely troubled McLeonard in the county goal. Brooks laying it back to Houghton. Gone round Chidozie. And that came off Pedro Richards. And Ricky Villa trotting across to take the corner. John Lacey ambling into the penalty area. And he's standing just inside that 6-yard box. Up goes Kilcline to head it away. Now Chidozie, but no support as County race out of defence. What a good ball that was then from Chidozie. Worthington first time for Hooks to chase. Just beaten though by Tony Galvin. With a quick break, almost caught Tottenham out then. And certainly Notts County playing with a lot of spirit today. And here perhaps another chance. Hooks with the corner. Looking for Kilcline, in he goes. Tottenham break up now with Villa. Gibson sprinting across the halfway line to give him support. The County have got 4 defenders back. This is Crooks. Now Galvin. Here's Crooks. Not a clean shot though by Garth Crooks, failing to hit the target. And certainly the goals have rather dried up for him. Remember, he got 2 against Notts County in that 4-2 win back in October. Falco, off goes Gibson. Leonard will have to be quick. The linesman's flag was already raised anyway. They're rather lost it in the sea of red jumpers and tracksuits over on the far side. But the linesman adamant that Gibson was just offside. Flick on from McCulloch, down from Fashanu. Chidozie's offside. Couldn't have been all that much in it. Certainly had just strayed a couple of yards offside then, John Chidozie. But he won't have minded putting it in anyway. O'Brien. That was Price, the dreadful clearance. Now Fashanu couldn't keep the shot down. And he'll be bitterly disappointed with that effort. He had time for the shot, really. Paul Price with the initial mistake. Off goes Fashanu. Might just have bobbled there as he hit it. And well over the top. The crowd. The hero of the afternoon so far is John Chiedozie. He really had to work hard for the goal too. He seemed to be outnumbered by defenders there. There are 4 blue shirts around and he curled it round Clements. And that is the smile of a very, very happy man. 2 goals for John Chiedozie. 2 minutes to half-time. It's 3-0 to Notts County. The cry now around Meadow Lane is of counting. The team seem to have come to life in the last 3 matches. Howard Wilkinson has been saying that he thinks he's on the right road to getting a very useful side. And certainly on the evidence of this performance today, he could well be right. Long throw by Mabbott, aimed at Lacey, cleared though by Kilcline. This is Perriman. Out come County again. And the flag again is raised. Perriman's not happy about something. I think he felt it. There was a foul. But the flag was up for offside. McCulloch's ball through. And a Tottenham goal kick. So we're now into time added on for injuries. And there was, of course, the delay with the injury to Paul Hooks. Worthington's chip through. A very good first half indeed for Notts County, and certainly for this man, John Chiedozie. 2 goals, and when you bear in mind that he was doubtful until this morning with a very heavy cold, it's turning into quite an afternoon for him. And certainly a spirited, competitive and aggressive display so far by Notts County. 3-0, the lead at half-time. Well, attendances may be small here, the average of around 8,000, the lowest for a First Division club for 70 years. But it's not stood in the way of progress, as you can see from the luxury boxes in the new multi-purpose sports and leisure complex, which, as well as the boxes and a social club, also houses a wide range of sports, among them squash, badminton and tennis. So, Notts County then starting the second half, and with their substitute now on. There he is, young Ian McFarland, who come on presumably for Paul Hooks. We're just looking round to confirm that. Indeed it is. Hooks, who was injured in the first half. And certainly County will be well pleased with their first half showing. It's over the head of Kilcline. And out comes Leonard. And County perhaps looking to emulate their performance here last week when they won by 5-1 against Coventry. And that was their best win at home for 6 years. Price, cleared though by Hunt. Chance here though for Gibson, who could be through. Good save by the goalkeeper. And Garth Crooks somehow turned it over the top. And that really sums up Crooks' afternoon. He can't believe it. A clear-cut opening then for Crooks. Gibson, pace taking him through. He was away from Hunt. The goalkeeper did extremely well to parry the shot. And Crooks, well, how could he miss from there? Miss kick by Goodwin. Goodwin, Chidozie. It was a fine pass. Now McFarland against Houghton. And the Republic of Ireland international winning out. Very accomplished defender, Chris Houghton. Perriman into the path of Price. Almost ran into Fashanu. He ran into trouble anyway. Now Gibson. Again prepared to take on defenders. And not a bad effort at all then by young Terry Gibson. It's been quite a revelation since he came into the Tottenham side at the start of the year. There he is, sprinting past Kilcline and driving the ball wide. Header from Mabon. Flick on then from Gibson. The final whistle, a disappointing second half, in all honesty, spoilt really by the number of free kicks. John Chidozie, every good cause to remember the afternoon. His 2 goals, along with one from David Hunt, giving County that lead, 3-0 at half-time. Tottenham, well, they certainly weren't at their best today. The final score, Notts County 3, Tottenham 0.
So, a comfortable enough win then for Notts County, which lifts them to 14th, level on points with Spurs. It's been a strange sort of season for County. They've been as high as 7th and as low as 20th. But they've now won 3 games on the trot, and that's for the first time since they got back into Division 1. But as Tim Russ asked team manager Howard Wilkinson, why are Notts County so inconsistent?
Because we haven't always performed as well as we can perform. Having said that, it's difficult. We operate with a small staff. We operate on a limited budget, and sometimes when you're stretching the elastic week after week after week, the elastic frays a little bit. It needs a little bit of mending. But the inconsistency has been disappointing. It would be more difficult, I think, for us to be consistent than for some sides, because we haven't maybe got the resources in depth that some. But having said that, we've got some very good players. If they'd only realise that they're capable of achieving more, then the consistency would come.
People tend to forget about Notts County, but with 3 wins in a row, you might start people sitting up and watching you.
I don't want them to sit up and watch. I want to come in and watch. Yeah, if we can pose a threat seriously in the city, and by that I mean get into the top 6 and win something, then we will gradually start to get the support. We'll never have great support because the town can't support it. But hopefully, if we can win consistently, then slowly we'll turn the tide.
As I said at the beginning of the programme, Jim, it's very unusual for a manager to go up onto a television gantry and watch a game. He didn't do it just because we're there. Apparently he does it every week. Does he gain anything from it, do you think?
I thought he did it because Peter Brackley was up there and he could learn to pronounce the names right or something, you know.
Do you think he got the hang of it after today?
Oh, no idea at all. But unusual that a manager would go up there and be heard by his players above the crowd, isn't it? Bit unfortunate, that, Bob.
Do you think he gains anything? Because we tend to think that managers sit in the dugout, 1 or 2 sit the first half in the director's box, and then they're down there shouting orders after half.
I think they do. I think most players should, most managers should look at their players from an erased position. I don't think you can see anything in the dugout, and I think it's understandable that he maps out the game from there. And in this particular game, obviously, they got it right, because there was no question about it. On the day, Notts County were a far, far better side than Tottenham Hotspur.
As you said, they got it right. We can now have a look at some of the highlights of that. 3-0 it was. Not a bad result in anybody's book, even though Tottenham were short of Archibald, Ardiles and Hoddle. It was still a hell of a performance by Notts County.
I mean, Tottenham were pretty pathetic today, to be perfectly honest, particularly in defence. the Hooks corner comes over, and I mean, look at that lot, and look how many are left on the post, and Hunt takes the goal, and yet, you know, if it had left it, Chidozie could have got it, or they were queuing up anyway. Here again, you got Worthington coming in. This was a good move, but look, Ray Clements down, very unusual for Ray to parry a ball out. Well taken goal by John Chidozie, but he should never have really had the opportunity. This, of course, was something that was a little bit special in the game. This was, without doubt, the best bit of football. Great control, beautiful turn, a really tremendous effort, that, and worthy of the goal that it produced. That was, for me, the outstanding piece of football there this afternoon.
A great result for them this afternoon, and good goals as we've just seen, but are they really a First Division side? We know some small sides succeed, but
well,
are they?
Put it this way, who is a First Division side these days, other than Liverpool, Manchester United, and possibly Villa at times? I mean, you've got a bunch of teams playing at the moment, and none of them look that good. I mean, Tottenham, to me, today were terrible. They didn't even look like Tottenham.
Must have broken your heart.
No, not particularly. I mean, I don't play for them anymore. But it didn't look like Spurs playing to me. I mean, even when Spurs play badly, they play with a certain style. County today went out and did their job. They weren't dramatic in their approach, but they did their job and they did it well.
John Holmes went along to see it.